What's going on, guys? Coach Bronson here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about being fat adapted as an athlete, doing physical activity without carbs, low carb, no carb, whatever you want to do. And we're going to talk about some of the ways that ketogenesis works with other systems in your body that you may not know about. Okay, but before we do that, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Click on the little bell so you're notified every time I come out with a new video. But most importantly, if there's information that I share in this video that impacts you, gives you information that you may not have had before, please share it with somebody else so that they can benefit as well. Okay, so getting back into being fat adapted and doing physical things. Okay, I do CrossFit type activities. I do weightlifting, I do bodybuilding type activities, I do high intensity interval training, I do a bunch of different things, kettlebells, medicine balls, dumbbells, barbells, plyometrics. I do a lot of that stuff, and I've been doing it for several years. I've been a following carnivore for over 4 years now. Okay, that entire time I have not had any lack of energy. I don't bonk out, I don't get fatigued, I recover faster. I've had nothing but strength gains and improvement in performance across the board at 50 years old. Okay, so it is possible to have a positive experience with no carbs. Okay, a lot of people struggle in the transition and then end up, because it takes longer than they think it should, because a lot of people know about one level of adaptation. What you don't realize is that there's three. Okay, fat adaptation happens in 3 different phases. Okay, we talk about primarily being keto adapted, right? Being fat adapted. Your body is, and there's different levels, right? So everyone calls them different things. Let's for sake of this discussion, let's say there's fat adapted, keto adapted, and then we'll talk about the last one, which is keto optimized. Okay. So fat adapted is basically where your body is able to function in ketosis. Okay, that is high ketones. Your body knows how to process fat. It doesn't matter where the fat comes from. If you're eating it from your body, whatever. Okay, your body is transitioning from being a carb burner to being a fat burner. That is being fat adapted. That's where most people hit keto flu really hard. Okay, just that transition. If you're tracking your ketones, that's fantastic. Go for it. Your ketones are going to be high. Once you get to a point where your ketones start going down, they're not registering as much because your body's getting better at utilizing ketones for fuel. You can stop taking exogenous ketones, number 1. You don't need to do it. Stop loading up on fat, number 2. You don't need to do it. Okay, and get your body to start getting into the second phase of adaptation, which is getting it ketogenic, where your body is getting good at taking body fat, breaking it down, and using it for fuel. Okay, that's the second level, keto adaptation. So there's fat adapted, then there's keto adapted. Okay, your body's now ketogenic. You are creating your own ketones to put yourself into ketosis. You don't need to eat ketones in order for that to happen. Okay, a lot of times people go through the process of these two things, these two phases, and they're exercising, they're doing activities, they're weightlifting, they're running, they're doing CrossFit, they're doing their spin class, whatever it is, and they're like, oh my God, I have no freaking energy. I can't go as hard as I used to go. And this can last 4, 5, 6, 8 weeks for this transition to happen. Everybody's a little different, depends on how hard you're working, how much carbs you were having, and how long that, it takes to get your body to transition through phase 1 into phase 2, and then how long phase 2 takes, right? So you have to be patient through that time. Okay, if you can get through phase 1 and phase 2, if you can get through fat adaptation, if you can get through keto adaptation, where your body's now using your body fat for fuel, what's going to happen is you're going to start to get into that third level. This is where things really get cool. Okay, this can take 8 to 12 weeks. You have to be patient and wait through the process. It could take you 12 weeks of feeling like crap in your workouts before you start seeing the benefit of being keto optimized. Keto optimized, okay? The third level of adaptation is where gluconeogenesis kicks in and helps ketogenesis. Okay? Gluconeogenesis is the energy system that allows us to be ketogenic. If we didn't have that, we couldn't be ketogenic, okay? Because fat ketones, when ketones are broken down, they feed gluconeogenesis, and gluconeogenesis uses those byproducts, pyruvate, acetate, okay, lactate. It uses those things to create glucose when we need glucose for high intensity activity, weight training, CrossFit, sprints, that kind of stuff, okay? All the things that everybody says you can't do if you don't eat carbs, our body is built in to do it, okay? Here's the thing. The third phase, what I call keto optimized, is where your body is getting good at using the remnants, the leftovers from keto, from ketogenesis, okay? It's using the byproducts of ketogenesis to support gluconeogenesis. You've been shoving carbs in your face for years. Gluconeogenesis has not needed to do as much work. Your body has not needed to create its own glucose because you've been forcing glucose into your body. So now that you're not forcing glucose into your body, it's not just, we don't think about this, it's not just the ketogenic pathways that have to be adapted. Gluconeogenesis needs to learn how to work too. Okay? So it's taking all of the things from fuel that are the byproducts of ketogenesis, putting those back into the Cori cycle and the Krebs cycle, and helping you generate glucose when you need it. The third level of adaptation is the level that allows physical activity, high intensity interval training, CrossFit, weightlifting, powerlifting, all that stuff. That's where your glycogen stores get replenished in between workouts, and that's where the final level of adaptation that allows you to do physical activity well and improve and recover faster, that's where that happens. Okay? I want you to think about that. It's 3 levels, guys. We don't talk about this. I don't think a lot of people are thinking about the benefit of and why we have gluconeogenesis. It's a supporting system for ketogenesis. We need it. It's what allows us to do activity if you are a fat-fueled athlete. Okay? Think about that. As always, if you have any questions, post in the comments, and I'll talk to you again soon.